International Center, Councillor Chesson, Ray, and all others who have gathered here this morning to witness this important occasion and to celebrate with us the importance of peace, security, and conflict resolution in Liberia by the launch of this important chair. Launching of the Reverend William R. Tolbert III Chair for Peace Building, Conflict Resolution, National Healing, Reconciliation, and National Unity, held at the Library of Cotton University, Graduates and Professional Studies, Congo, Tuesday, May 21st, 2024 at 11 a.m. Today, I will be the Masters of Ceremony, E. Elias Shonian, Dean of the School of Global Affairs and Policy at Cotton Graduate School. We now proceed with our program by first inviting the Spirit of God to this event by calling on the Reverend Dr. Herman B. Brown, Executive Dean, Cotton Doctoral Program. Dr. Brown.
And so we want to thank God for all that He has done for us, especially this thing that He is about to do for us today. Let us first give thanks and praise for the life and the work of our brother William Richard Tolbert III. May his soul and the souls of all the faithful departed through the mercy of God rest in perfect peace. And so today, as we pray, we give thanks to God for the partnership of many of us, for the effort we now begin. In thanking God for the hearts, the hands, the souls and the spirits and the bodies assembled today to do a significant thing in the life of academia in trying to mainstream the challenges and the issues that affect national unity, building peace and reconciling our people. We give thanks to God for the partnership of the Angie Brooks Randolph Center, for the initiative and the work of this institution, Covington University, for our chief patron, the government of Liberia, represented by the President himself. Let us give God thanks for all that we wish for and hope to see come to pass. The Lord be with you. Give us, O Lord, a sense of your presence here, we pray. Strengthen our hands and our hearts to commit with passion what you have set before us. Bless those who would sit in this chair. Bless those whose hearts are emboldened to take with you and us to the national unity and reconciliation we so desire. We give you thanks for this day. Bless each of our hearts and strengthen us to do this your will. In the name of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Brown. And at this point, we invite to the podium Dr. Rudolph Monsieur Butler, Vice President of Cotton School of Graduate and Professional Studies, for welcome remarks.
His Excellency, President Joseph Boakai, members of the President's entourage, government officials here present, distinguished invitees and guests at this auspicious occasion, our very dynamic leader here at Cuttington University, Dr. Romel Horton, Dean Shonian and Arnold Accarelli, our very special co-coordinators of this chair program. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the graduate school, all of the faculty and staff of the graduate school, it is my honor to welcome you to the campus of Cuttington's Graduate School. This, Mr. President and ladies and gentlemen, is the flagship campus of Cuttington, the home of Liberia's first and only doctoral program. Put your hands together and applaud. Come on, members of education. Yeah. Welcome, Mr. President and friends, to the graduate campus, where we strive to notice, to name, and to nurture everyone who comes our way. At the graduate school, we work hard at attracting, preparing, and deploying men and women to transform Liberia and beyond. Mr. President, you have 5 million people to worry about, and today you squeezed us in your schedule. I think it is a sign of your commitment to education, to peace, and nation building. And for that, we thank you. We are proud, sir, to call you an alum of Cuttington University. If you didn't know that, you know that now. The president is an alum of Cuttington University. Ladies and gentlemen, we pray that our time will be meaningful and the totality of the experience will be wonderful. May God bless you, bless your families, and may God bless our nation. Thank you.
This day is finally here. And I say this day is finally here because do recall when the concept of the establishment of this chair was conceived, and the former Foreign Minister Olubanki King started to drive that passion along with the President of Cuttington, Dr. Hutton, and at some point, sometimes it was like it was not going to happen. And then even more importantly, to have got the attention of the President of this great republic to see meaningful gains in this program, to have led all others, just as Dr. Brooker said, to have joined us today. We continue to express our gratefulness, Mr. President. And at this point, we will be calling upon the Honorable Olubanki King Accarelli, Chair, Co-Coordinator, and Chair of the Angie Brooks International Center, who we all consider as the vision bearer of this initiative, to come and give us an overview.
Your Excellency, President Joseph Boakai, members of the Board of Trustees, Cuttington University, the President of Cuttington University, Dr. Romel Horton, and others of CU administration here, as well as Councillor Yvette Chasson were the brains behind the Angie Brooks International Center for Women's Empowerment, Leadership Development, International Peace and Security, named after a formidable Liberian of international stature who has gone before, Madam the UN Resident Coordinator, who we are pleased to welcome here and who has come out of her sick bed to be here We want to recognize your presence and thank you, Madam, that you just came back and you're not well at all. But you came to be part of this, and we thank you, Madam Resident Coordinator. We also want to recognize the proxy or representative from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The minister is out of the country, but she actually asked for a proxy to be represented. Very strongly and committed to this. The Dean of the Louis Arthur Brown School of Law, and the Assistant Dean, other distinguished participants, and the press, but especially colleagues. Mr. President, we want to recognize the presence here of a UNESCO chair from the Republic of Mali, who has arrived specifically for this, being supported by the UNDP. Please, Mr. Connor, can you stand? Can you stand? He is representing the UNESCO chair in Mali, and you will hear more about it and why we are linking up to him, why we're excited about this. So all other distinguished representatives here and participants, and my dear colleague, Ambassador Kaba, of so many years ago, where we did the first work together in this country on the issue of women in leadership and marketing from the university. Thank you very much. It is for me foremost to express my profound appreciation, Mr. President, that indeed you have come today to be a part of this. We know the program. We heard the radio that you have the major issue of meeting with the rice importers today, and it's not easy because we've been there, not so? My first challenge as Minister of Commerce and Industry was rice, and I see the President is meeting with them today with the Minister of Commerce and Industry, so we really appreciate your being here and all your colleagues who made this possible. We want to thank you all for this. I want to, at the same time, say to the audience that we appreciate your being here. We appreciate your being here so much for this intervention of Liberian Institute for Growing Patriotism and Cuttington University and Angie Brooks. I know it's not easy to come here to find out about what is this thing we call the chair, right? Chair? What kind of chair? Right? We'll hear about it. But I want to thank all of you for being here. We are indeed here to recognize the life and the legacy of the late Peace Ambassador, Liberian National Peace Ambassador, the Reverend William Tolbert III. His essence was peace. He worked for peace. He was brutally murdered in 2021. We cannot have lost that life in vain. His and others' unsolved murders that beset our nation has to be attended to. We cannot sit down and think that we will restore this nation to where it is without tackling those issues. We have to look at the legal process and do something about this. We have to do something. We're calling on the Liberian judicial system to take action on them and try to solve these issues and give us some peace of mind. The establishment of this chair will continue as a reminder to us of the outstanding role of our Liberian reality. And those of you who are students of Shakespeare will remember the story of Shakespeare's Hamlet, the Prince of Denmark, who reminded the world of the unique, the unquiet spirit of the father of Hamlet, to sought solace, reminding Hamlet that justice had to be done for the life of his father. The above notwithstanding, the peace messages of the late Reverend National Peace Ambassador speaks to the imperatives of peace in Liberia. Here, let me highlight what he said about this issue of peace in Liberia. We all talk peace. We say the peace must be sustained, but listen to what he left us with. Listen to his position on peace. In March 2018, At the Reconciliation Conference at the Monrovia City Hall, supported by the UN system, an extraordinary event, he called on all Liberians to reconcile and work together to move the country forward. He expressed publicly to the admiration of the audience that he has forgiven those who assassinated his father, and he called on others to exhibit the spirit of genuine forgiveness as a sustainable healing process for the nation. And then, in his peace message for National Unification Day on the 14th of May, 2019, the National Peace Ambassador, Reverend William R. Tolbert III, reminded the Liberian citizenry that peace is not an event, but a process. Rather, he said, we must be prepared to do what is necessary to sustain the peace we deserve following years of conflict. Thus, we must be proactive and initiate appropriate interventions. With sustaining our national peace as our purpose, unity as the focus, and sincerity of will and commitment as our driving desire. Specific actions he called for, not just to talk. This is one of the specific actions. Concept of the chair. What is this concept of the chair? What does it mean? I know it is new to most of us in Liberia. We therefore want to just provide you some insights into this issue of this chair. You will hear a concrete operationalization of a chair from Mali, UNESCO chair. While we'll be becoming part of a global UNESCO chair program by about 2025, today we are igniting the process and taking the first steps towards that process. A chair can be a university chair, which is generally what the establishment of a chair is about, with a specific mandate. We have, in fact, Mr. President and ladies and gentlemen, we have, in our capacity as former UN resident coordinator in Zambia for 5 years, we established a chair in honor of the late Secretary General Dag Hammarskjöld, who worked for peace, who died for peace in trying to solve the situation of the Congo. Dag Hammarskjöld, the second UN Secretary General, in a flight going to solve the problem, came down. His plane came down in Zambia. It was then called North Rhodesia. And every year, the Zambian government, the UN system, and the Swedish government would go to the crash site. When I got in Zambia as resident coordinator, I said, we have to do more. This man died for Africa. And we established the Dag Hammarskjöld Living Memorial at the Copperbelt University. The Copperbelt University, in turn, established a Dag Hammarskjöld Chair for Peace and Human Rights. So this is our experience, hands-on experience with the rest of the UN system. We then have a chair can also be set up by a particular government legislature or Congress. In the United States, the Congress established the Wilson Center. The Wilson Center is in Washington, D.C. in honor of President Woodrow Wilson. And it is indeed that center that in turn continues with us today and holds all kinds of programs and initiatives. Then there is the Global UNESCO Chair, the United Nations major initiative in terms of establishment and working with chairs to memorialize the life and legacy of individuals. So the United Nations through UNESCO in Paris have what is called a Global Chairs Program. Part of that chair is what the Mali will tell us about. What we are doing today in Liberia, we are igniting our process of a university chair with Huntington University that will by next year have applied to be a UNESCO chair holder. The details of how this proceeds is what I will highlight. But let me say that this chair will be a Liberian first. And we are so proud to associate with Huntington University yet again for another Liberia first in terms of education and training of our people. Madam President, Gumel, and all your team, we are proud to be part of this Liberia First. It is also the first post-conflict country and a pace setter for this in Africa. Again, a Liberia First. We are coming out of conflict. We paid the price. The international community paid the price with us. UNMIL, Kofi Annan, and all the other participants, ECOWAS and all. So it is in recognition of that we are linking up this effort to sustain the peace by putting in place at the level of the university, education and training. Education and training has to be done. We have to plug into our people to change that mind. Otherwise, there's no sustainable peace. I want to, at this point, then just walk through concretely what does this mean. You have the fan, and if you all don't have it, please, everybody make sure you have the fan, okay? There's a little brief. At the back of your fan on this, I've given you the background, and I've given you a message of the late Peace Ambassador. Now, the organization, how are we proceeding on this? There will basically be a two-phase program. Phase one is from today, May, to about May 2025. During that phase, we will be doing a lot of the things that we are talking about, but also we then make a formal application to UNESCO, April next year. UNESCO receives a formal application from Liberia to be a part of the global process. By the time you make that application, you will see what work we have been doing towards saying what is the chair, what we want it to be. And it's very important because during this phase, one of the major things we have to tackle is this issue of hate messages, hatred and violence that is coming up in our society more and more. And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, I tell you this is extremely important. I was responsible for Rwanda at headquarters, UN headquarters. You know the story of Rwanda, yes? You know what happened. And it happened and it started because of the hate messages. And if you don't do something about the hate messages now, and it continues and continues, and you go down the road, we cannot afford to go down the road again. We've all been there. So during this first year, what you do is you start working on these things, and you will hear how Mali has been dealing with this. It's very, very important. So that's phase one. And during this phase, we'll look into various other dimensions of where we want to go, the details on the chair. Then you get into phase two, which is from June to December 25 next year, where you start gearing up, you get an appointment of a formal chair. We are interim, we are gratis, right, as co-managers. And again, you will hear more about this. Organization of the chair, that's what you have here. The institutional base, the last part. Institutionally, the chair is based with Cuttington University Graduate School. At the same time, there will be the locale of the Angie Brooks Center at the Chief Swakoko Center on the campus of the university. The operational dimension of the chair, while it is based here, will be done in coordination with the Joseph One Institute, Peace Center at Cuttington, and in concert with the Junior College Associate Program in Kakata. The Junior College, again, what you're doing is you're getting through to the next generation, the younger people, who you will hear more about from Father Kwele. Then there will be several committees under the chair that will work towards it. We will have a committee for peace building and mediation and conflict resolution. Kofi Annan Institute will be a part of that, Ministry of Internal Affairs, and Peace and Conflict Committee of the Liberian Legislature. There's a Peace and Conflict Committee of the Liberian Legislature. What you are saying is you are touching all of the critical elements for making this peace and reconciliation happen. Then there will be a committee for research and training, as well as the hosting of research fellows from universities in Liberia and overseas. Overseas, there is a graduate center in Geneva, with whom we are working and collaborating with in UNITA and Council with Chile. So it will be possible for graduate students from Geneva to come and participate here as part of the chair and help us to move things. Do you see the linkages? Do you see what you're doing? Liberia again will be playing a critical role, being a first, okay? Then there is the Committee of Reconciliation and National Unity. This is where addressing the hate speeches and violence, Ministry of Internal Affairs, Ambassador Tolbert. He was based at the Ministry of Internal Affairs. The peace ambassador, the peace dossier of this nation is based in the Ministry of Internal Affairs. I spoke to the minister. He assured me that he will be represented here, and I hope there is someone here who will be coming. Finally, let me say that we have identified a number of concrete research projects. What are those research projects that will be part of the chair? The research projects will consist of the following. One of the research projects will be this whole issue of the hatred. Hatred, we'll do research and see what's happening on the ground level. Another of the research projects will be national reconciliation. Another will be with the law school. I think the Assistant Dean of the Law School, are you here? Okay, Assistant Dean of the Law School, we will be collaborating with the law school on the reading room of the Ruth Morgenthau reading room, and at the same time, Mr. President, we will be looking at the issue of women in the law and women's legacy in the judicial process of this country. People like Judge Demonstration Ross, people like Human Jessup, people like Angie Brooks, like Liberian women, like Emma Shannon Walser. How many of you have ever heard of Emma Shannon Walser? Can I see a hand? Yeah, do you know who Emma Shannon Walser was? Emma Shannon Walser was the daughter of one of the Liberian chief justices, right? From Maryland. Okay, but more than that, Emma Shannon Walser stood up to the government of Liberia when they wanted to put those people who were in the right rights, and they wanted to put them up. Emma Shannon also said no, they had to go through due process. And the women of this nation, led by young professionals, among whom myself, the Castle Girls, we did a petition. 500 signatories took a petition to the legislation, and we protested about the removal of a judge, just by a joint resolution. We protested, we went to the legislature, and we said this is wrong. What happened? Of course, nothing happened. What happened? No, but we need to know what happened. What happened eventually? First of all, the sergeant at arms, the arrested, said, "Why did you let those women in?" It was not only us young women, we got the older women to join us. The older women said, "Enough is enough." I read the petition. I was a young person at the time. I was in my 30s. I was a young person at the Ministry of Planning and Economic Affairs. Do you know what the Sergeant of Arms said to the Speaker? He said, "Mr. Speaker, how could I not let women of this nation enter into their house?" So even though they didn't do the thing, you know what happened? 1986 Constitution saw the face. In the 1986 Constitution, they put in, you cannot just remove a judge. There has to be proper legislation. So that was what we as young people raised back then. Just two other research projects that will be undertaken under the chair. One would this be the issue of the diaspora. The issue of the invasion of the Liberian diaspora in what we're about. In peace, in unity, in security, and investments. I have spoken very briefly on this already to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Green. Okay? And the President is just coming from interacting with our diaspora. But that will be another research project. Do you understand? So the chair will support critical research projects, will operate as a think piece and whatnot to help this nation. All of this. So this is what I want to say. That's what the chair is about. Thank you very much. more than 1 minute. I'm sorry I took more than 1 minute.
At least Madam Chair and coordinator of APIC, at least the president knew exactly what to expect when he saw you take the mic. So, okay, so at this point, we will be entertaining remarks from some of our special guests out here today before we hear the words of the President and His Excellency, who will be officially launching this all-important chair. But before that, let me acknowledge the presence of our Nobel Peace Laureate, Lima Bowie, who is here. There's no way that she could be at this program talking about peace, and then we do not recognize her presence, and we are very pleased that you got the time to join us here today. And we also acknowledge the presence of many of our distinguished lecturers at this university, at this graduate school, and other important guests, and our Deputy Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. JJ, and other former Lord Mayor of Pickensville, and other important personalities in our presence here today. At this point, we will be calling on a representative of the Board of Trustees of this university. We all know that those are the people who tell us what to do. So their words in this very important event will be extremely cardinal and important to us. So we now call on the representative of CU trustees. Do we have Trustee Allen here?
Good afternoon, Mr. President, Madam President, ladies and gentlemen of the high table. On behalf of the Lord Bishop James Silly, who is unable to be here today because he is leading a delegation into Lofa, which was prearranged, and he has some guests and could not be here. It is my pleasing duty to welcome us to this most auspicious occasion. Anything we do, if there is no peace, it will not be sustainable. As a good book says, "Who will wash it? If there is no peace, they wash in vain." The motto of this university is Sancti et Sapienti, holy and wise. And we like to remind ourselves that even though all of us may not be holy, we should all strive to be wise. Having said that, the events of the day speak to how far we are, where we want to go, and the efforts that we will place in achieving those goals. If we remain true to our mandate, and God in our help, I hope we will, I believe that this republic can advance and will advance and do what is necessary in redeeming itself and redeeming Africa. All the rest of the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Trustee Allen. At this time, we will acknowledge the United Nations Resident Coordinator, Madam Christine Umontoni, who is in our midst today. I'm told that she's not very well, so she may not be able to address us. Oh, she has someone excellent. Okay, may her proxy kindly step forward. Okay, so the United Nations the United Nations resident rep is going to be represented by the head of UNDP in Liberia.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Liberia, senior government officials, ministers present here, organizers of this important event, the resident coordinator of the United Nations in Liberia, all here assembled. On behalf of the resident coordinator and on behalf of UNDP, today we gather to inaugurate the Peace Chair in partnership with the University of Cottington, the Angel Group, and the Ministry of Internal Affairs. It is our commitment, a symbol of our commitment to fostering a culture of peace, understanding, and tolerance. This chair represents a beacon of hope and a safe space for dialogue, reflections, and conflict resolutions. May this peace chair serve as a reminder of our shared humanity, and responsibility to promote peace and tolerance and understanding in Liberia and across the world. Let us work together in solidarity. Let us create a world where differences are celebrated and conflicts can be resolved through peace and dialogues. On behalf of the resident coordinator, Your Excellency, we are happy as the United Nations to be working hand in hand with you and accompanying you in consolidating and fostering development in Liberia. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Director. Okay, we also will acknowledge the presence of the Tolbert family represented here at this program today by Stephen Tolbert. Steve, you are welcome. And we now move to the next speaker, and that will be the executive chair of the Angie Brooks International Center, Councillor Yvette Chesson-Ware.
Your Excellency, Joseph Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Romel Horton, President of Cottington University, Her Excellency Olubanki King Akerele, former Foreign Minister of the Republic of Liberia and Chair of the Anti-Brooks International Center for Women's Empowerment, Leadership Development, International Peace and Security. Honorable Christine Butini, who is the UNRC, United Nations Resident Coordinator of Liberia. Honorable Louis Kepin, who is the UNDP Resident Representative of the Republic of Liberia. We also want to recognize, of course, our eminent women of the Women's Situation Room of the Anti-Brooks International Center. We're pleased to have Lima Boy, the Nobel laureate, who is one of our eminent women, and Yvette Gibson, the former mayor of the city of Painesville, the largest city in the Republic of Liberia. We also want to recognize the presence of Mr. Moulaye Kone, the UNESCO chair from Mali, the Tolbert family, the members of the President's entourage, esteemed ladies and gentlemen. Please give me 1 second. This is what happened with the electronics. Sorry. Okay. the Anti-Brooks International Center, well, let me just speak up. The Anti-Brooks International Center is profoundly honored and privileged to stand as an integral pillar of the illustrious William R. Tolbert III Chair for Peace Building, Mediation, Conflict Resolution, Reconciliation, and National Unity. This chair stands as a beacon of hope, the first of its kind in the Republic of Liberia, bearing the distinguished name of the late Peace Ambassador William R. Tolbert III, fondly known as Bill. His legacy, steeped in the essence of true peacemaking, resonates deeply within the fabric of our nation. Bill Tolbert, a luminary figure, emerged from the crucible of the April 22nd group, a gathering of Liberians whose lives were forever altered by the tragic events of a bloody coup d'etat that claimed the lives of their fathers, including President William R. Tolbert Jr. Despite enduring the harrowing ordeal of loss, this group, bound by a shared commitment to peace, reconciliation, and unity, has risen above their personal grief to shape a brighter future for Liberia. Tragically, we were shaken to our core by the untimely demise of Bill Tolbert in November 2021, a victim of senseless violence whose perpetrator and motives still elude us. Yet, in the face of this profound loss, we were reminded of the urgency of our mission. Liberia stands as a canvas upon which we must collectively paint the portrait of a nation rebuilt, and it is incumbent upon each of us to contribute our utmost to this noble endeavor. The fruition of this visionary collaboration between esteemed institutions such as Cotton University, the Kofi Annan Institute for Conflict Transformation, University of Liberia, the Liberian Institute for Growing Patriotism, and the Anti-Brooks International Center for Women's Empowerment, Leadership Development, International Peace and Security, is a testament to the foresight and dynamism of the Honorable Olubanki King Akareli. Her stewardship as the former Minister of Foreign Affairs of Liberia and Chair of the Board of Anti-Brooks International Center has been invaluable, infusing this endeavor with purpose and direction. Furthermore, the unwavering support of Dr. Romel Horton, President of Cotton University, has been a guiding light in this transformative journey. ABRIC shall serve as the physical bastion for the operational arm of the chair, with our headquarters nestled within the hallowed halls of the Chief Swakoko Center, offices on Cotton University campus in Swakoko, Bong County. Our involvement extends beyond mere participation. We shall lend our expertise to the advisory committee, contributing not only to the realm of peace building, but also the Committee for Research and Training in partnership with the Graduate Institute in Geneva, under the supervision of ABRIC's esteemed board member and head of ABRIC's Geneva office, Ms. Sabine Mitzel in Switzerland. The Liberian women under the Anti-Brooks International Center shall embark upon the pioneering collaboration with the Louis Arthur Graham School of Law at the University of Liberia. Together, we shall craft a program tailored to empower Liberian women within the legal fraternity and the judiciary, with a singular focus on fostering sustainable peace, justice, and national cohesion. As we embark on this academic odyssey, in tandem with the esteemed Dean of the Law, Sue, Councillor Babu, we recognize that justice is the cornerstone upon which lasting peace is built. The women of Liberia stand as exemplars of resilience and achievement, not only on the shores of Africa, but also on the global stage. Anti-Brooks, our beacon of inspiration, blazed trails as the first and only African woman to preside over the United Nations General Assembly, leaving an indelible mark on history. It is incumbent upon us to transmit the lessons of our triumphs to the generations that follow, igniting within them the flame of ambition to surpass the heights we have scaled and to forge a destiny of their own making. In conclusion, let it be known that the destiny of our nation rests firmly within our grasp. Through unity of purpose and unwavering dedication, we shall sculpt Liberia into a bastion of prosperity and influence. Let each citizen heed the call to duty, for it is through our collective efforts that we shall etch our legacy upon the annals of history. Mr. President, we want to thank you from the bottom of our heart for once again showing Liberians that women empowerment is your focus. It has always been. Few have known it. You have always gone ahead and supported us. We thank you once again in exemplifying this. Liberia united, we stand poised to conquer the challenges that lie ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Ware. I've just been advised that the President's time for his next event is running out of time, so I will encourage those coming out to kindly be really brief. At this time, we will invite Reverend Father Terry Quay, the Associate Vice President of Cottontown Kakata Campus.
Your Excellency, President Boakai, Dr. Horton, President of Cottontown University. Our gathering here today, it all began in July of last year with a bowl game and a field testing. Eventually, it led to the launch of the Reverend Emmanuel Uyos Sustaining Liberia Peace through community engagement for conflict prevention and peace building. Since then, participants have been involved with field work, engaging affected people, especially those that are in the slum. Today, we are pleased to say that the training aspect has already begun with 38 participants at the junior college, with one physically challenged student being among us. The idea is to train emerging leaders in peace building. So the entire peace building process or the training process is a 6-week certificate training course. The first one focuses on civil education and conflict prevention. Phase 2 focuses on community outreach, going out into the various community, that which we already have begun. We hopefully by next week we probably might be visiting the prison compound in Kakata. So we already have made that arrangement. The last phase, which will be the certificate aspect, it also has to do with the reporting. Those that are going into the field, they will have to bring us data and so forth so that we be able to compile it. But our whole idea regarding this peace initiative is not to indict anyone, but is meant in order for us to have a peaceful resolution of conflict. So in the community, there are teams that will be set up. We will refer to them as a reconnaissance team. So they will spot a conflict that are coming out, and when they come out, they will let us know. We will get involved. Our idea is not to take anyone to the law, but to ensure that we come to an amicable solution. So hopefully, at the end of the 6-week training program, we should be calling Madam President and the minister, former foreign minister, to come and do the certification. Thank you very much.
Okay, we will now call on Nobel laureate Lehman Bowie of the Bowie Peace Foundation Africa.
Thank you, Mr. President. Her Royal Highness Dr. Romel Hutton, President of Cottontown University, kindly permit me to stand on all existing protocols. Mr. Shonihin said, thank you for coming. Our folks to come. When you have your senior Spartan as president of a university, when she say pass, you pass. They stay bullying me years after high school. It's often been said that peace is not just the absence of war, but peace is the presence of conditions that give dignity to all. For 20 years in this nation, we've managed to sit quietly and see the efforts of everyone, from the women to the UN peacekeepers to ECOMOG, to all of those who were involved in bringing us to stability. For 20 years, we've been stable. Now is the time, in this current political dispensation, in this current era, for us to begin to think about bringing true peace. And that true peace means creating all of the conditions that will make every Liberian to feel like they are part and parcel of what is happening. The conditions include education, and today I'm very happy to see that we're launching the chair. And it is my hope that this chair will not just be about academia, but that it will go out into the community where people can sit and talk about the issues that are impacting and affecting them. People can talk about the reasons they are not involved in community building processes, but most importantly, that the blueprint for moving Liberia forward will be set, not just in the classrooms, but in the community. Congratulations, Dr. Horton. Thank you for inviting me, and the Bowie Foundation look forward to working with you as one of the biggest individual investors in Cottington University. Thank you.
So Madam Bowie, we took note of that very keenly, actually. So, okay, at this time we will invite for very brief remarks the UNESCO Chair, Mali, Mr. Molly Conde.
Thank you so much. It's a massive ceremony for giving me the floor. His Excellency, or the participants, ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Mulai Kone. Mulai Kone is so these are not easy to pronounce. I stand here today to talk to you in the name of Dr. Lala Ben-Barka. Lala Ben-Barka, she is the coordinator of the UNESCO Chair in community research on liver development and innovation through New Jersey. And I am the coordinator, the cooperation coordinator of this chair. She deeply regrets her inability to join you in person to reunite with her sister, Mrs. Olanki Akerele, and participate in this important ceremony for Liberia and for Africa. She also extends her warmest greetings to you, all. It is great pleasure and honor that her chair in community research joins you today for the launch of the Reverend William Richard Tolbert III Chairs for Peace, Building, Conflict Resolution, National Healing, Reconciliation, and National Unity. She and her staff warmly thanks the organizers of this very important events, bringing together allies, individuals, and organizations dedicated to the noble cause of peace and reconciliation. Peace and reconciliation. Thank you. The chair, our chair in Mali, was created in 2016, and from then to today, it has trained 8 senior and junior researchers on the ground, and these researchers they have undertaken some applied research topics on the ground, topics such as governance, conflict resolution, and education. We've also trained 4 mobilities that have trained young people that dismantle hate speech online and offline. Allow me to give you some results with regards to one of the most important projects, which is titled Preventing and Implementing Hate Speech in Mali, research and training for local communities. The results we have obtained is first the elaboration of a scientific report on deep causes of hate speech and the form of hate speech. It has also obtained, we have also developed some training programs which was used to train young people in the central region of Mali where their communities are in conflict. We have also elaborated a spot to sensitize people, you see, in these countrysides. Over 500,000 people were reached, you see, by this raising awareness in the countrysides. This result was obtained thanks to funds mobilized by various technical and financial partners of our chair, including UNESCO and UN agencies, funds and programs, and the national and the Malian government, of course. I was commissioned by Dr. Boakai to tell you about the management of the chair and the various projects we have undertaken, we have elaborated also and implemented so far. And during my stay, I will be happy to help you with this. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Conde, and thanks even more for taking up your time to fly all the way from Mali to join this very important launch. At this time, I would say finally, for remarks, we will be calling the representative of the Tolbert family, Mr. Steve Tolbert, who will be making a remark.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. President, the distinguished President of Cunningham University, Dr. Horton. When my mother learned that I was asked to represent my family here today, she said to me, "Don't look at my school in Michigan." And of course, I replied, I said, "Mom, that I could take with my Notwithstanding, on behalf of the widow of Reverend Tolbert and his children, and my family, the Tolbert family expresses its deepest appreciation for what you've done in the creation of this endowed chair. This endowed chair is also the biggest and most important step in a history that spans a century of contributions and actions in the life of our nation. And I'd like to start with the valedictory address of President Tolbert in 1934 when he graduated at 21 years old from the University of Liberia. A address which, even by today's standards, is remarkable because not only does it demonstrate the quality of the education that he had received with that institution, but also because it linked education with national development. 40 years later, during his administration, President Tolbert went on to implement groundbreaking policy in education. Multi-level high schools, the Fenville campus, the agricultural college, girls' education, free textbooks in schools, and an expanded international scholarship program. His removal of the seat in 1980, however, did not also remove the challenges that Liberia faced. In fact, they exacerbated them. And that is why his mantras were picked up later by his son and namesake, William R. Tolbert III, who made important contributions in peace, in conflict resolution, in national unity. This was a man who prayed daily to be closer and live in closer union with God. This was a man who dedicated his life to the upliftment of the Liberian people through the consolidation and expansion of peace throughout the land. This was a man who worked tirelessly, traveling the length and breadth of this country, settling cultural, religious, boundary, and family disputes. And this was a man who, in spite of everything that happened to him in 1980, still had a big enough heart and the fiery desire to love his country and all of its people. In closing, what the organizers have done here today in creating this chair is that they have brought together not only important family history of contribution in education, but they have also illuminated the way forward for change and development in Liberia. Because it is only through education that the Liberian people will achieve their greatest potential. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon to all. Dr. Romel A. Hutton, President of Cottington University, the Chairman and members of the Board of Trustees of the Cottington University, distinguished government officials here present, distinguished invited guests, members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I'm honored to present to you His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Joseph M. Boakai Sr., who will, at this time, make special remarks and launch the chair. Mr. President.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. Please have your seats. Madam Chair, members of the Board, Trustees, Cottington University, Cottington Dr. Romel Hutton, a good friend, eminent citizen of Boakai, in a career, Liberian Institute of Rome, the churches, President of other universities, Dean of the college, members, faculty,
my old good friend, former President of Cutting officials of government, members of the diplomatic corps, members of the foreign travel family, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Normally, when people go to preach, they start with an opening sentence. My opening sentence would be along the lines of people like Nima and Little Mountain. In this country, sometimes we treat peace as an event. But the Bible says, seek peace and pursue it. Now, whether we actually pursue peace in this country is a different matter. But because we feel that feelings are easy to forget, we seem to be pretending peace and thinking that everything is okay. Maybe this is our time that we understand that peace is most necessary thing in this area. And I want to stress that. Let me say today to all of you and all my good friends, committed educators. We here assembled today as an occasion that is so full of meaning for a new cause that we as a nation have undertaken to deliver a country onto a new qualitative trajectory. We come to water the seed of peace, the peace that we firmly trust our nation to afford no return to conflict and violence. Let me hasten to commend all the hands that have come together to craft this noble brainchild that we are here to be launched. Thank you, Cutting University, for this enviable display of foresight and thoughtfulness. Indeed, we need to fight the push for peace and the lasting one and among any people is a cause that could be that global. Thank you also go to a similar thing to the Liberian Institute for Women that journalism and Ulvaki in Nigeria, the Anglos, the National Center for Women Involved, the Leadership Development, the National Peace and Security, and the super collaborative initiative that had represented what we assemble here to consecrate. I am particularly moved by this character of the name here in the Americas that the honorable venture that brings us together, that speaks to why I stand here unable to adequately express how humble I am by your kind invitation to perform this sacred ritual of launching the Reverend William III, Chair for Peace Building, Mediation, Conflict Resolution, Reconciliation, and National Unity. I have some form real life memories of multiple interactions that I have with the people's love and peaceful human being, the President Reverend Tolbert III.
patient with the strength of peace in this nation. When I then Vice President back in April 2013, undertook the task of the development of a zoological and botanical garden to be integrated with the William Junior College of Agriculture and Forestry of the University of Liberian Kingdom, the Reverend gave me the effort. So, the good Reverend became such a regular presence at my office. He has focused on some of the aspects of the project of attending regular meetings that I shared. I still believe that the project and how its resumption and completion will be so ideal to serve memory in its honor. There is so much we could say here today about the man whose name blesses the academic share we unveil here. His optimism and resilience, the conviction that the goal of peace and reconciliation could be achieved was evident and it was easily noticeable. I recall being at the program on peace that was held in 2016, which I heard Reverend Tolbert sat there observing as I quoted the Indian legend Mahatma Gandhi that I quote, the day the power of law overrules the law of power, the world will know peace. It is true that the day the power of law overrules the law of power, the world will know peace. This reverent knowledge is very equivalent. The church is not that this nation has chosen in conflict and violence must have hopefully taught us the benefits that violence and disorder generate. We all too frequently delude ourselves that we have no choice other than the promotion of peace. No sooner we embark on violence than we learn the form of our children and the great weight of the pain forcing us to crawl around the hope of restoring peace. It is this creating peace that our government welcomes and applauds every and all efforts invested in building our peaceful nation. I would make who us out there that we go to attract great attention to our collection effort to strengthening and sustain peaceful, reconciled, and united Liberia. For my part, I have never relented in reminding this nation that peace is the only sustainable justice prevail. When we speak of peace, we do not mean a growing one or one which is only masking a thick layer of the restlessness and unease below. We need peace that we heal the wound we have so senselessly inflicted on ourselves. Yes, indeed we seek peace, and we see both victims and perpetrators reaching closely and resolving to move forward with awareness and appreciation that this nation is everyone's duty and responsibility to sustain and develop. This is a message we pray that this chair for peace building will stand to broadcast throughout Liberia and beyond. I come with no doubts that the Liberian community of optimism that this chair will grow, rise to be a tool instrument of education while addressing issues of peace building, conflict resolution, reconciliation, and healing. You have our support, and whatever we can do to help to make this teaching and shining example that many of the experiences the continent will offer to emulate. It is again wondering, therefore, that I, the men and the organization of the late patriarchal take the pride and honor to formally declare this honorable Reverend William R. Tolbert Chair of Peace Building, Mediation, Conflict Resolution, Reconciliation, and National Unity officially on the 2024 the Civil Road. True to be told, it is a noble move such as this that reinforces us in our conviction that we are together in our pledge to think Liberia, love Liberia, and ultimately build Liberia. Again, thanks for the invitation. God bless us all, and we praise God. Thank you.
And penetrating commentary and for the audience task of visually launching this all important chair. So this pretty much does convey by your support in your words. Thank you very much. So at this time, I will be calling up to the podium the president of Southern University, Dr. Will Holding, for an acknowledgement and good thanks. Dr. Holding.
His Excellency Dr. Joseph Yoma Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, and alumnus of President University twice over, with 2 honorary doctoral degrees, honorary members of our Board of Trustees, members of the branches of government, members of the House of Representatives and Senate, international partners and national partners, representing especially our UN representative who came out for state that we have to develop of peace. Thank you for the Press and representative of our institution, our special guest, Mr. Wole Konen, the National Chair Mali, our own peace laureate and my little sister who cannot say no here, she wanted to, they are growing, the infatigable Boakai King, who when you're tired, you say for you. Our leader and chairperson, Councilor Yvette Jackson-Rip, the CU, EPIC, and LIGP teams, you all have done well. You all have done very, very well. Good afternoon, everyone. We did it, everybody. We did it. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of this great institution, we we appreciate your presence and extend to you our huge gratitude, grace, and thanks. It is amazing being able to share this special moment with you all. Not only in the history of Pakistan, but the history of this great nation. At 177 years old, Liberia and Pakistan at 135 years old stand together at this pivotal moment in time. Our moment to be bold and ambitious about our nation and this university's future, our city, our county, our country, and our world are depending on us. This is the time, and the time is now. We are ready, and our purpose here is clear: sustainable peace. Liberia is once again poised to set a record by establishing this university chair. Following the strength of being a premier institution, Pakistan University, in partnership with the Andy Rose International Center for Women's Empowerment, Leadership Development, International Peace and Security, the Liberian Institute for Growing Patriotism, we together have established the William R. Tolbert III Chair for Peace Building, Conflict Resolution, National Healing, Reconciliation, and National Unity. The former peace ambassador of this nation, as our School of Graduation and Professional Studies. This is indeed a proud moment for Liberia, and this historic event is happening during your tenure, Mr. Illuminus, Mr. Macedonian President. The future of education is to forge a new social contract for education in order for us to heal past injustice and build a more equitable and sustainable plan. Such new social contract should involve all educational stakeholders with the aim of defining how the education system should be organized and for what purpose. The UNESCO report states that the concept of education as a common good suggests a paradigm shift from a transactional to a relational model of the social contract. Based on the belief that educational change can only be achieved together, and that all actors, yes, also everyone, should take responsibility for this change. So we are all in this together. Education is our greatest investment a nation can make in its people. For more than 135 years, President has been a major player in this great investment, the education of Liberian people. The chair, as an instrument of education, will address and promote peace building, conflict resolution, reconciliation, and peace. The launch of the Reverend William R. Tolbert III Chair at Pakistan School of Graduate and Professional Studies puts Liberia in a relatively small, coveted league of African nations. Your presence at this historic moment in the life of our nation is very, very appreciated. We thank you for your support, Pakistan University, the Liberian people, and peace. Special thanks goes to Honorable Olubeki Agaro, who does not know the meaning of no, does not know the meaning of I'm tired. She will call and say, well, isn't this exciting? Yes, and this is very exciting. And that is not the only way. She said, just unacceptable. This is unacceptable. We cannot do that this way. And it is indeed exciting. Huge thanks also goes to the Andy Rose Center for Women's Empowerment, Leadership Development, International Peace and Security, where entity is a force of nature, that is a quiet storm. And together they are formidable. We thank you for your leadership. We thank the UN system, the Tolbert family, especially in National Day, Mrs. Henrietta Tolbert, and all who have worked diligently to make this a reality. We look forward to working with all of you as we create the freedom we know is possible. And as aptly stated by His Excellency, President Constitutional Boakai, Ghana thinks it is the gateway, but we, Liberia, we are the destination. May God guide and guide us all. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hudson. So we are now closing. So at this time, we will all please rise so that we take the oath of confidence to be followed by the national anthems of the Republic of Liberia. Okay, identify us to a group after and the national anthem is and that will be followed by hosting our executive being Dr. Brian will also be there. So when we start the room after
MC, let's go. Freedom, praise, our glory, on hearts, so right over and round. Jesus, we love the Lord. There's noise, silence, and the storm. The stars of liberty. Ceasing from the waking morn, refreshing of holy faith, she is the of promise, and was a nation come for long to Lord destiny. The most shall forever, O Lord, may flow over land and sea. To say forever, upholding forever, we'll shout for the Lone Star and love. Hallelujah.
Oh,